max for the squat. And max for the bench is the same. Your march if you bench your net. Nothing for deadlifts. So I'm gonna hope, one, that I get this. Hope that I get it. And two, that this isn't gonna break this machine. Peace everyone, this is Kaishin with the Fortified Fitness and Strength channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you'll stick around. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so very much for being one and for coming back. No fancy intro for this video. I thought I should get right to it with the clips because I don't want the video to be any longer than necessary. A little bit of background about what I'm doing here. I'm presently 8 weeks away from my next powerlifting competition. This will be my first competition in the USPA, US Powerlifting Association. I've competed for, 12 years? From 2008 until last year in USAPL, and really still consider myself a part of USAPL. I don't have any beef or grievance with them, but I'm doing this meet because really the USAPL meet that I wanted to do in November was sold out by the time I went to register for it. I waited too late, so I didn't want to not compete, and there wasn't anything better on that calendar available to me. So here we are, testing the waters in USPA this November. Drug tested division, obviously. I've also done a lot of videos recently, over the last few months, tutorials on how to do the competition lifts if you have to do them in a Smith machine, and also some of the assistance lifts that you may be doing in a Smith machine as well. But I've had some requests between comment sections and email about programming. So I haven't had time to really get that together like I wanted to, so I thought at least I could give you guys a peek into excuse me, pardon me, give you guys a peek into how I program for myself. What you're seeing in this video is a training session that I did knowing that I would only have 2 chances to train in this particular week. So if I only have 2 chances to train in a week, then I strive to do I guess you would call it full body session, or as far as powerlifting goes, try to do something to address each of the competition lifts in one session. It may not be squat, bench, deadlift, but it may involve a variation of one or two of the competition lifts. And what you'll see in this video, well, obviously you'll see me squat, and after this, bench press, and it's going to be followed by rack pulls or rack deadlift. So the top half of the deadlift range of motion. So for squats, I'm working up to a top set of 5. It is not an all-out set. In fact, this is it here. This 390 plus the bar is my last set of squats. Again, this is not all out. If you're going with RPE ratings, this would not be a 10. I would rate this about an 8 maybe. And then move on to bench press after this. Again, I'm going to be hitting this lift later in the week. This was done on a Wednesday, so I knew I would have a chance to train either Saturday or Sunday. I ended up doing the follow-up session on Saturday, and I'll try to cover that in another video. Now on the bench, you'll notice that I warm up with more reps on my earlier sets. I've had some shoulder issues over the years. Probably 10 years ago at this point, I had a torn labrum in my left shoulder. I was very blessed that I was able to recover from that just through physical therapy, and did not require surgery for it. It did take quite a while to get back to my normal self, or I guess I should say establish a new normal, because it still feels, both my shoulders actually are kind of wonky at this point, but they still work pretty well. But I do notice that they feel better if I do more warm-up sets at the beginning. Keeps them from hurting during the session and after the session. So this set with the 100 pounds plus the bar is going to be my last set of 10 reps. After this set, you'll see me jump or make the move from 10s to 5s. And I'll do that for the up until my heaviest set of 5, and then on bench, I did something a little different than I did on squat, and I did a heavy double after the sets of 5 were completed. Now, note here, remember I said I'm doing this type of workout because I'm only training twice in this week. Now, can you do this kind of workout more frequently, like 3 times a week or even 4 times a week? Personally, I would not recommend it 4 times a week. I've done that before in an experiment. I was part of an experimental program that Reactive Training Systems, Mike Tuchscherer, was running. This was some years back, called Project Momentum. And in that, you actually trained 4 days a week, and you did squats, bench press, and deadlifts. I mean, high volume every session, plus assistance exercises too. I don't know how I got through it, but I felt like Superman when I was done. But again, that was several years ago. Now I'm 45 years old. I'm also a mailman. So if you are getting a little bit older, I'm not saying old, but you know, you have a little bit of miles on you, or if you have a manual labor job like I do, you probably don't want to do sessions like this. Once you get past a certain strength level, let me add that in there. If you're a beginner, yes, you can do this 3 times a week. Once you get past a certain strength level, if you're going to train 3 times a week, I would not recommend doing this kind of training 3 times per week. I think you'd be better off with, you know, some kind of split, like an upper-lower split. That's more of a bodybuilding type terminology. For powerlifting purposes, it might be a squat deadlift day and then a bench press day, which still ends up being usually upper-lower. You could also go really old school, which used to be pretty much the standard for powerlifting training, where you would have a squat day, which would also double as a leg day. Then you would have bench day, which would basically be chest, shoulders, and then a deadlift day, which would include obviously a little more legs, but also the bulk of your back training would be done on deadlift day. If you're a beginner, again, that's not something I would recommend. If you're a beginner or fairly new, I would train each lift or body part, depending on your focus, as frequently as possible. So that would be up to 3 times per week. I mean, once per week is better than nothing, but as a beginner, chances are that you're not moving enough weight to require a whole week to recover from a workout. Could you do something like this 3 times a week if you're more advanced? Yes, you could, but you can't go heavy on all 3 lifts every session. Now, before the video wraps up, I suppose I should explain the intro that I put at the beginning of this video. I did not plan to do anything other than sets of 5, with the exception of the bench press. I went into the gym figuring that I would do a heavy single or double on the bench. I didn't know how heavy I'd be able to go on these rack pulls, because I've had this pain in my right lat for a few weeks, and it's been fading now. Over the last, I guess, week or so, it's really gotten better. But I just went into the gym figuring I'll keep doing rack pulls until it, you know, if it started to bother me, then I would quit. It wasn't bothering me, and the weight was still moving. So after this set that you see me doing here, once I did the 5 with the 500 plus bar, I thought to myself, you know, I don't know if I could get it for 5, but I bet I could at least double this thing. But how much weight are you actually supposed to put on this Smith machine? How much can you put on there? So that's when I checked the labels, and I was like, you know what? All right, this is it. And, you know, I'm not the strongest guy in the world, but now I can claim to be a power lifter who maxed out the Smith machine at Planet Fitness, because this is the max load on the Smith machine. So I was just chuckling to myself that I was able to do that. So anyway, this last rep is the end of this training session. And with that, let's kick it to the quote-unquote studio to send this thing home. All right, folks, thank you very much for watching. If you've made it this far in the video, you know what time it is. Please do all the nice YouTube things. Give us a thumbs up. Please like the video. It helps the channel a whole lot. I appreciate that, as well as you clicking that subscribe button. Make sure you press that, and also the notification bell, so you can stay up to speed with everything we do on the channel. We got more to come, and I appreciate you spending the time that you have with us on this video. Until the next time, please do everything you can to train hard. Make sure you love as much as you can and live as well as you can. I will see you in the next one, folks. Peace.